Looking out and seeing the sun rise up above the horizon has to be one of the greatest things about sailing. Until you remember it's going to be 30 to 40 knots all day. Hey, we're Laura and Peter. We moved on board our floating home 1 year ago with zero experience of how to sail. Ever since, this has been our adventure. We are currently in the wonderful Aegean Sea, which we absolutely love, except for the Miltemi. Last week we had our first experience with it, and this time it's going to be a little bit more challenging, heading from Kithnos all the way to Mykonos. But first we've got to take the dogs onto their first sandy beach in months, here on the west side of Kithnos on Kolona Beach. Good morning. So we now are in Kithnos. We're at this really awesome beach area with the plan to stay here for a night or two, but the weather is changing a lot. We're gonna have a lot more wind tomorrow and the day after and the day after and the day after. So today I think we're just gonna head to the next island over, which is another 35-ish miles, which will be a bit upwind sailing to get up around the island, or upwind motoring I should say, and then once we get around the corner then we can hopefully have a nice sail the whole way to where we're going to. So that is the current plan. Laura's just making some breakfast for, you know, her new sailing food is a bacon sandwich.
Makes it sound like I don't make you breakfast. You didn't want one. With loads of ketchup.
Yeah, we're definitely the only boat going out today. So yeah, wish us luck. And we're off. We got so many looks leaving the anchorage. Everyone probably like either don't hit my boat when you're leaving or what are you doing going out. But feeling confident.
I'm not confident about the 2 hours up it. The winds have picked up and we now have about 2 to 3 meters of waves on the side, which is not comfortable at all. And then we had a rogue, like probably like a 4-meter wave, what I mean? Poor Peter got soaked. We all got wet, but Peter got soaked. So yeah, no one's very happy at the minute. Especially Ellie. Ellie is not happy at the minute. So we also just reefed the Genoa in to try and help a bit, so hopefully it does a bit. We went downwind to do that. That was lovely. 30 seconds of nice calm sailing and now we're uncomfortable again.
We're definitely now a good bit more than halfway through. We've got about another just less than 10 miles to go. The wind is still probably 20-25 knots. The wind isn't actually the problem, it's just the swell. We've had 5 days of swell picking up and we knew it was going to be bad, but we have to get to Mykonos as we said, and the next 3 or 4 days are going to be worse winds, so the swell's going to be even worse. So you either had to wait for the wind to die down or you just go now in the higher winds and just go through it. It's not horrible. There's been a couple of times that have been pretty sketchy, and it's always frightening whenever you get a wave over the boat. Yeah, but thankfully all the dogs have managed to find a bit of a spot after a few hours. They're now sleeping, thankfully. Laura's now having a bit of a rest as well because she was almost sick for, I don't know, an hour and a half. But a lot of it is just the fear of being out here in conditions that we haven't been out in before, but everything's going okay.
Laura, we've arrived and we need to get up now. Oh, don't do that to me, no.
every time we get somewhere new, ours Clipper's Pose just sits there and sniffs, see what is going on in the world. Like Baby Yoda.
So, do you remember, I'm pretty sure that we recorded that our winch wasn't working the other day? Well, now that we're about to anchor, it's not working again, but for a completely different reason. Apparently, whenever we were sailing over, some water has somehow gotten into the anchor locker, right to the control, and now it's not working. So, I think Peter's going to try and lower it manually in some way. I don't know how he's going to do this. But it looks like we're stuck here now until we get that fixed. Like, honestly, like, poor child, like, it's never you never done. Nothing ever goes smoothly. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's just frustrating sometimes. But sure, welcome to the boat life. We chose it, so have to get on with it, don't we?
Well, it was a bit of a disaster. We've been having a few problems with the anchor windlass over the last few days, and today was the final straw. So it turns out a few bolts have come loose in the anchor windlass itself, and the actual whole thing was just loose, and I've only noticed it today. Obviously all the water from the
You did very good.
swell,
Good job.
thank you very much. But see, all the water from the swell obviously has crashed over the bow and went straight onto the windlass, and then it's leaked through onto the wiring for the remote. So I'm hoping it's just the wiring for the remote and not anything more than that. So I'm going to go down now and clean off the whole thing. Yeah.
So did you do that all manually, or did it partly work, or what?
No, it's all manual.
Using that winch?
Yeah.
Did you have to stop it more so than you
Yeah.
had to take it out? Okay.
It's a 2-for-1 kind of thing. If I didn't ever mess with the windlass over winter, maybe it wouldn't happen. But also,
Anyway.
you couldn't use it manually before I serviced it. It was rock solid, and it just would not. The chain wouldn't manually come out. So at least that worked. I've been digging around the anchor logger, which is the bedroom's now a mess. The controller is fine, and the little end, fine. There's no rust or corrosion there. But the bit that plugs into, not so good. So water's obviously got into there, and it's just kind of sat, collected in there, and it's just completely fried everything. There could be a bigger problem than just this. Hopefully there's not. Hopefully this is the fix. But that's the only way you can really find out is by starting here and kind of working your way back. So there's a small chandlery in the town that we're in. Not actually sure what town it is. It's I think it's called Posidonia, this little town that we're in, which is on the island of, and it's got a chandlery, so I'm going to take that to them now. Okay, so we just got back from town there, and we went in and ordered another replacement one of these controllers for the anchor. So yeah, we're going to be here at least for another 2 days, but to make up the time, it's a nice little spot to go for a swim, so let's go to the beach.
Yay!
But we are having the benefit of the super windy cyclades.
It's very pleasant temperature.
The temperature doesn't get too hot, which is what we kind of were told.
Oh, I'm bright.
The cyclades is kind of just like having constant air conditioning, which I can now see that being the case. There's constant wind blowing through the boat, except for this exact second when it stopped. But yeah, so okay, off for a swim.
You're rambling again.
I'm rambling again.
Ramble. You're gonna go swimming. Yep. Oh, okay.
Good morning, guys. It's 5 a.m. and this morning we're going to sail over towards Mykonos, just a little tiny island beside it. We've been here at Syros for the last 3 days, waiting for an anchor winch controller to show up so that we can actually leave. That came quite late last night. That's why I didn't record actually putting it in, because it was dark. And now we have to kind of get out of here, because in the next day, like, we're going to get really strong winds. It's already going to be a pretty rough crossing, but it's only 4 or 5 hours long, so hopefully it's fine and with no issues. But it's going to be sunrise in the next 40 minutes, so we've got to get out before that, and then the big winds come after lunchtime, so we really want to be there before that. So early mornings.
Everything's ready to go. I've even boiled some eggs for another snack on passage just and see if that helps.
Yeah, but we'll So that's us off. We got a little bit of downwind sail into the bottom of the island, turned round, and now the wind is just funneling the whole length of the island. So we're just motoring up into it, and there's not very much. It's nice and gentle here.
Beautiful sunrise though. I know I'm looking away from it right now, but
So yeah, we've got about 40 minutes of nice calm, albeit motoring. And then the fun will kick off. We're going to get breakfast, we're going to do all the things you need to do while it's calm, and then we're off.
We're at the beach, obviously. We're trying to enjoy it as much as possible. It is still quite cold because of the wind though.
It's not as bad right here.
No,
It's
but on
okay
the
right
boat
here,
it's...
but on the boat it is horrendous.
But look at how pretty colour this water. This is probably the first beach we've been to with sand and this colour of water, right?
Look, fishing!
Over there.
So this is the beautiful remote island of Rineia. It's kind of crazy that we are 1 hour from Mykonos and it is completely deserted. These shots were taken from next week's video when we have our guests and bring them over here again because it was so nice. Super well protected and quiet, which Mykonos is not.
Big wave. The rest of them are tiny. Oh, wait. No.
So
Big wave.
So we had a last minute change of plan. We thought, you know what, since it's downwind, we'll sail just down to the island, down the island to the bottom of Anchorage, and that would take an hour off the sail tomorrow. And then Laura, as we were about to drop anchor, is like, why don't we just sail the rest of the way? So now we're sailing upwind in 35 knots in probably 2 meter seas. We're not really going
I'm
anywhere.
enjoying it.
Since when? Since when?
Because I'm going down the waves, not side to side. Hit them side to side. See? It's like a roller coaster.
Okay. As always, things change last minute on a boat. Well, that was eventful. We got in. Like, this place is so busy. A lot kind of busier than we thought. But I suppose there's only so many anchorages here in Mykonos, so especially with the wind at the moment. So we anchored up. We're holding fine for 15 minutes. And then as I was kind of tidying up from the wind in the cockpit, I just kind of looked over at everything and we were dragging at 3 knots. It's the first time it's ever happened. We've never dragged before. Yeah, we were dragging it at 3.2 knots or something when I checked the chart player.
It's a good experience to have, though. Driving. When we've never experienced it before. Not good in the sense that you don't want it to happen, but at least
It's fine that it happened because we were like
aware. Imagine if that had
Laura
happened.
just went downstairs to start making dinner and I was just about to go down and get a shower and
Yeah, but imagine we'd just left. Although in this one we wouldn't have, but
we just
they take a dog to shore.
oh right, yeah, I mean I mean, we're pretty comfortable getting off the boat. Once it's dug in, it's dug in. But
Yeah.
that's the first time that's ever happened. So
Like
And
different if you had been dragging as you moved, but
Yeah.
it's the fact that we were sat.
we
for
held for 15 minutes at least. But then we pulled the anchor up, and it was literally a bush. Like, you couldn't see anything of the anchor. It was just seaweed.
Thankfully,
And
there were no boats behind us.
there's nothing behind us, but there was a lot of super yachts within about 15 to 20 meters. So luckily we just dragged right past them. It was fine. We were quick to fix it and quick to be ready to sort it.
And
But
now we're in a better location, so
yeah, we're much better.
there's always a silver lining, guys.
Hopefully it'll calm down tonight. Tomorrow hopefully is not as bad as today was. And then in 2 days time, zero. A few days
I'm
of
happy though with your sister being here that it
Yeah.
is this.
a few days of
This
nothing.
wouldn't have been enjoyable having her on board. It's not enjoyable for us, so it wouldn't be enjoyable for guests.
No, I mean it's a good experience dealing with all the wind.
I mean, you can't get off the boat.
You can't do anything.
Well, you can't. We can't get off the boat because our dinghy is a good dinghy, but like, it's not enjoyable to get off the boat because you just get soaked. Anyway, first world problems. We're still very grateful that we're in this situation.
So we're here for 4 or 5 days. We'll film with my sister for that as well, and we'll see what we get up to. Hopefully, tomorrow we're going to rent some quads and go around the island. So we'll see you then. That should be fun. The last time we did that was the day I tried to propose to Laura. So tried being the key word. That could be a story time for the end of the video.
What?
How I tried to propose to you in Mykonos.
Oh, I thought you were going to say how you nearly killed us in Mykonos.
That wasn't Mykonos.
Was it Rhodes? Oh, I thought it was Mykonos.
So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Two good stories.
We'll see you tomorrow, and yeah, wish us luck for tonight. No more dragging, because if we drag now, we're straight into cliff. So hopefully we're okay. Yeah, hopefully we're fine. Though it's still nerve-wracking after it now happening.